Hi, welcome. I'm Cassandra Lowry, and I am here to help you to love God and love others well. That is my goal in my life, to continually grow in those things. And so I just thought I would see if some people wanted to come along with me and grow in those things as well. This is part of our Seeds of Generosity series that I do every Saturday. We look at a verse about sharing, giving, and generosity, and then maybe look at a story or an example and some ideas on how to be generous so that we can be loving others well. Today we're going to look at Hebrews 13:16 for our verse. Hebrews 13:16 says, "And do not neglect doing good and sharing, for with such sacrifices God is pleased." So doing good and sharing. So that's where our story is going to come in today. I'm actually just going to read a story that I saw on Facebook. I cannot confirm that it is true, but the sentiment that goes with it, the idea of it, is completely applicable whether it is true or not. I hope it is true. I really do. So I'm just going to read that. I will try to look at you as much as possible, but I am going to read that. Hi, my name's Evelyn. I'm 68. I mop the floors at Lincoln High every night after the last bell. Most folks don't notice me. That's fine. Invisible people can see a lot. I see the football players strut like kings, the girls in glittery sneakers whispering in packs, the shy kids trailing behind like shadows. I see which lockers get slammed shut with laughter and which ones stay empty, untouched, like even the metal knows its owner doesn't belong. One Tuesday night, late fall, I saw her. Jessie, 15, maybe. She sat on the bathroom floor, knees pulled tight, face blotchy. She had wrapped her sweatshirt around her waist, but I could see the stain anyway. Her hands were trembling as she tried to fold notebook paper, sliding it into her underwear like it was going to help. My heart broke so hard I had to lean against the wall. I didn't say a word. I knew that look. Humiliation mixed with panic. Talking only makes it worse. So after she left, I unlocked the last locker at the far end of the hall. Nobody used it anymore. I put a small grocery bag inside, a clean t-shirt from my son's old college days, a pack of pads, and a note scribbled on a receipt. "You're not broken. Take what you need." The next morning, it was gone. I thought maybe she'd never use it again, but the following week, I left another bag, some socks, a little bottle of lotion from the dollar store, another note. "You matter more than you know." Gone again. By December, it wasn't just her. Someone left a granola bar in there. Another day, I found a pair of mittens, then a sticky note with messy handwriting. "Thanks, whoever you are." It snowballed. One Friday, I came in to sweep and saw 3 girls huddled at the locker whispering. One slipped a toothbrush inside. Another shoved in a hoodie. They glanced around like they were smuggling diamonds. When they saw me, they froze, eyes wide. I just winked and kept walking. The giving locker, they started calling it. By January, kids were checking it between classes, not just to take, but to leave. Notes with doodles. "Stay strong, girl." Little bags of Skittles, hand warmers, a new spiral notebook. Even the star quarterback dropped off a 6-pack of Gatorade once, mumbling something about "for whoever's thirsty." Word reached the teachers. Some rolled their eyes, said it was a distraction. One even tried to tape it shut. But when that happened, the students raised heck. They stormed the principal's office, waving little notes they'd saved from the locker. One girl stood up, voice shaking, but fierce, and said, "That locker kept me alive when I thought I didn't matter." Silence, heavy and real. The principal didn't shut it down after that. Instead, he asked me to keep an eye on it, like I hadn't been doing it all along. But here's the thing. It stopped being mine a long time ago. It belonged to them, to Jessie, to every kid who ever stared into a mirror and felt less than human. To every boy too ashamed to admit his shoes had holes. To every girl who thought she had to hide blood and tears and hunger behind a fake smile. One afternoon, I caught Jessie again. She wasn't crying this time. She was standing tall, slipping a box of pads into the locker. Her cheeks flushed when she saw me, but she smiled. A small, brave smile. "Thank you, Miss Evelyn," she whispered. I wanted to tell her it was nothing, just old underwear and cheap chocolate bars, just scraps from a cleaning lady's paycheck. But that would have been a lie. It wasn't nothing. It was everything. The last week of school, I found a note taped to the inside of the locker door in bright purple ink. It said, "It's not about what you take. It's about knowing someone cares enough to leave something." I stood there in the empty hallway, mop still dripping, tears streaking down my cheeks. You see, we keep waiting for grand gestures, new programs, speeches, government funds. But sometimes change starts with an old woman slipping a pad and a candy bar into an unused locker. The world tells these kids to toughen up, to stop whining, to figure it out on their own. But life is hard enough without carrying shame on top of hunger and loneliness. That locker taught me something. You don't have to be a teacher or a parent or a hero to make a difference. You just have to notice and do the small thing in front of you. So if you're reading this, next time you see a chance to slip kindness under the door or into a locker or across the counter, don't hesitate, because what looks like nothing to you might be the only thing holding someone together. I just think that is an awesome example of generosity at its finest. It starts with something small. It doesn't have to be, like she said, a grand gesture, just something small. And it can snowball into something large and into a grand thing, because that's what generosity does. It does snowball. And we are told to encourage one another with that so that it builds others up to also do good things and just spread that kindness and that generosity and that love of Christ. And so I hope that this is something that encourages you and builds you up and makes you think, yep, even the small things matter. I'm going to do the next small act of kindness, that next small act of generosity, and help somebody else out. I hope this is encouraging. Again, if this is encouraging to you and you want to keep up on all of our Seeds of Generosity videos, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you will get a notification every Saturday when we have a new Seeds of Generosity video come live, and also all of our other videos. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous weekend. Bye.